It's time for the absolutely... I'm on my way! Completely! I'm almost there! Random! Why are there so many stairs? Podcast! Oh, jeez! With Andrew Rhodes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the absolutely, completely random podcast, the episode right before Christmas. That's right. This is Saturday, December 19th, 2020. I'm your host, Andrew Rhodes, as always, here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. Yes, your one-stop, place to go for all those rants, raving discussions that you love so much. Hey, 200-some people can't be wrong, right? I mean, I think the last time I checked, I was like, 249 subscribers? Hey, all right. They can't be wrong, right? Oh, who am I kidding? Fame is fleeting, folks. Oh, well. But anyway, what do I got to talk about this week? Well, believe it or not, Cyberpunk 2077 is in the news, and it's not a good thing. Oh, my God, it's bad. Bad news. ToonamiFaithful.com put up an opinion article, what Adult Swim is going to be like after Family Guy leaves the block, which is actually kind of interesting. Funimation has acquired Crunchyroll. Oh, God. I'm sorry, I instantly think, oh, God, when I think of those two coming together, it's almost as bad as if, it really is. It really is. It's almost as bad as if Google and Facebook merged together and became, Goobook or something. Oh, God, I just gave them an idea. Oh, Lord. Oh, that's it. Well, we're all done. We're all doomed now. Oh, Jesus. The album cover artist for the Meatloaf album Bat Out of Hell has died, which actually took me for a shock. Holy crap. Toonami put up a neat little thing about their lineup that's going to be pretty interesting. Why? Because they're showing a special Wonder Woman movie. Yeah. Well, you figure people got to make something off of Wonder Woman. And, of course, what type of podcast would this be if I didn't talk about something that annoys the crap out of me? Fallout 76 is soon going to be letting you hoard more shit. I mean junk. Screw it, it's the same thing. All this and more this week on the absolutely, completely random podcast. But before we go into that any further, you know the song and dance. I'm sure you do right now. ARHOADS hyphen 2012. It's my own it's my own eBay page. I sell a wide variety of stuff from trading cards, DVDs, video games, action figures. You name it, I pretty much got it. One person's trash is another person's treasure. I mean, come on. It's the worldwide garage sale, basically. That's what eBay is. It's a worldwide garage sale. Where else can you get William Shatner's toupee or a Kleenex that was used by Dr. Dre? I mean, come on. Farrah Fawcett's got posters galore on there, and I'm just selling my useless crap that might be useful to you. You never know. I might have a lot of stuff. But yes, by the way, if anybody's figured out that I've been kind of saying stuff from the Weird Al song, it's because it popped into my head like 2 weeks ago, and I just sort of liked it. I don't know. But anyway, so check out my eBay page. It's ARHOADS hyphen 2012 on eBay, all lowercase, by the way. And you can also follow me over on good old Twitter at Otaku Rhodes. That's at OTAKURHOADS over on Twitter. You can easily find a link to that in the About Me section here on the Web Designer 18 page. And you can also check out the official Web Designer 18 Facebook page. That's right, I have an official Facebook page for Web Designer 18. It's a lot of fun. I know I don't post a lot of stuff on there, but I try. I really freaking do. I do. I really do try. It's just that I don't do Facebook a lot as much as I used to because I'm really got into Twitter. So, yeah, I know. Andrew, I know. You don't have to tell me, I know. But still, anyway, come hang out with me on one of those two social media sites. It's the only ones that I do. I will not do Instagram. I don't do any of the other ones, but I will not do Instagram. I did once, and I'm never going back. But hey, while you're here on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. I have a ton of other ones you can watch, from Andrew Rants, a few Andrew Reviews. I Pretty sure I still have a lot of my other ones up yet. I know some of the ones that were like really piss poor, just like stupid little experiments I got rid of. But hey, you know, I got a lot of videos up. You guys can check it out. Everybody can. My videos are good for... Well, okay, they're not made for kids. I want to stress that. I swear like a sailor. I will drop the F-bomb in my videos. But yeah, come check me out. Like, comment, subscribe. Ring the notification bell. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Just hang out here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. I mean, come on. It's a lot of fun here. I do rant videos. I do discussions. I can go from raving about one thing at one moment to basically talking about time travel. It's a lot of fun here. There's a video, I'm guarantee you that there's a video series on this channel that you will find interesting. I am planning some new stuff, hopefully down the line, so come on, check me out, get on the ground floor before this thing blows up, maybe, I don't know, and goes really huge. Okay, I'm never going to be Markiplier huge, but you get the idea. So, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell for more up-to-date and to be notified when new videos are uploaded here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. All right, so this is the part of the podcast where I go about how my week went. Oh, God. This week was just weird. So we're in the home stretch now for work. Yay. 5-day week coming up with a break on Christmas. Yay. Well, a break-ish, but yay. Yeah, today is just a lot of fun. I'm still somewhat sleepy. I mean, I slept because I requested off today because today was the funeral for the member of the fire company that passed away, and I requested off, and I slept in because I was just that exhausted. And I pretty much went to sleep. It was like 8 o'clock last night, and it's been 8 o'clock Friday night. And I didn't get up till like 7 this morning. And it wasn't a straight through sleep because I was kind of like awake, and I'm just kind of laying there trying to fall back asleep. And I'm still tired. So it's like, that's not a good sign. I'm like, that's not a good sign at all. I'm like, oh, this is not good. I'm still tired. I'm still sleepy. No, this isn't good. Oh, yeah, no, this is bad. This is very bad. So that was just like most of today. Yesterday was sort of a boring-ish day, I want to say. Basically like the rest of my week, just sort of humdrum, boring bullshit. But yeah, so we're in the home stretch now, happily, for the holidays, so this cannot end fast enough. I'm sorry, it really freaking can't this year. God, it's just going to be one of those years that I'm going to want to forget. But yeah, so there was that. I did catch a few decent shows. I did watch the end of Ultraman Z earlier tonight with my mom, because we were... I've been watching it the last couple weeks because I had to work on a Saturday morning, and even though I kind of requested off today, I still was like, no, because I wanted to show her the end, because I'm like, well, you're kind of invested, and she's like, nah. I'm thinking to myself, she used to love watching those shows with me when I was a kid. She'd watch Power Rangers with me occasionally, VR Troopers. I mean, even if she wasn't, happy, she's a parent, just feign interest in what your kids like. I mean, I'm 31, but still, feign interest, damn it. And she did. She was asking questions, and I answered them. I wasn't as pissed off as when I was watching Dragon Ball Z, and she was asking me who the bad guy is, and I'm literally trying to watch Goku kick the shit out of Frieza, and she's asking me who the bad guy was. And I'm like, the one with the orbs. That's the bad guy. She's asking me half a dozen questions. Well, because it was payback for what I did to her earlier. I think it was like in the week or the month at the time. I had asked her a bunch of questions about a show she was watching. But that was honestly because I was confused as to what I was watching. With this one, it was pretty much self-explanatory. So, there was that. But yeah. So, we finished watching Ultraman Z. The final episode 25, popped up. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't watched it yet. It's actually pretty good-ish. I mean, I kind of get why they did it. I liked how they did it, but I kind of feel like the ending was literally half-assed. full on half-assed. I just cannot. I'm fine with it. It's one of those. I'm fine with it. I just don't think it was that great. I think they could have did it better. I'm kind of getting the feeling that there better be a goddamn special or a movie that's going to come out finishing this thing up. But apparently there's going to be like a special next week. A special episode next week, which would make sense. They're having 2 Blu-ray boxes coming out, so 13 episodes per disc or per box would probably be a better selling point than 12 in one and 13 in another. So, but yeah, so that was pretty much this week. I was watching a lot of YouTube videos. I was watching I cannot pronounce the channel. I think it's like Pengla Dragon or something. But if you know him, it's Moist Critical. I was watching. He does a video. He was doing a video series where he was playing a game called Mr. Krabs Overdoses on Ketamine and Dies, and he ended up getting a new world record on the speed run. Was like I think they said it was like 18. It was 18:10. 18 seconds, 18.10 seconds. So that's pretty damn cool. Because I was watching a few of those videos he put up. That was really impressive. So kudos to you, Charlie, by the way, for that. Free shout out there for you. So that was pretty cool. But yes, this week was sort of a humdrum. We did get snow. That was the interesting part. I ended up getting the morning off on Thursday because I get a call from my supervisor, and it's like 7:30. I was sort of asleep. I look out my window. I actually had to go down to the front door. I look out the front door, and the roadway outside is like one lane. And it's that crappy one lane that you have when the plow truck just kind of like goes right down the middle, has the plow turned to one edge, and makes it just big enough for them to get down, and for like the really incompetent people or the ones that, had no choice but to go to work and, have to go out, for them to get through. It's literally what you call the one lane road, is what I've so lovingly dubbed it. And I'm like, yeah, and the car's buried up to the bottom of the car. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, it's still snowing. There's no way in hell I'm getting in there. There's no way in hell. I mean, for me to even dig out, I would have had to have dug out a path to the street. And till I would have gotten home, if I would have went in, it would have been like 9 o'clock-ish. I'm thinking to myself, there's no way. I mean, it would have stopped snowing, but I would have been stuck in there in snow up to my ass. It's like, yeah, no, that's not happening. So I ended up I couldn't make it in, so I had to call off for that. But that was a given, apparently. So, yeah. I mean, nobody was going anywhere. That storm was just wicked. Really would have been nice if it would have snowed Thursday instead, though, but oh, well, beggars can't be choosers. But anyway, so that was pretty much my week. Humdrum, boring, shoveled snow. So, yeah. Definitely got to work on a new invention because I don't like shoveling, and I don't think I'm alone in this. I should come up with an invention and take it to the sharks on Shark Tank, see how they like it. Go here, back my invention, damn it. Back my idea. Back my idea, damn it. I want money. That'll work. I want to retire by the time I'm 40. Let me bankroll this bitch. But yeah, so that's pretty much how my week went. So let's get into the podcast. This is actually going to be pretty cool this week. Alright, so you have to love this. So Cyberpunk 2077 debuts. It comes out. And with all the news stories going on about this, I instantly started getting these vibes from that one Batman game where the PC version ran so piss shit poor that they had to issue refunds. That they're like, oh, we're really sorry that our game sucks, to the point that we just have to give you back your money. We're sorry about this. We had no choice in the matter. It sucks, but we're sorry. And that's the vibe I have been getting from these videos, courtesy of, well, this, I guess you want to call it shithole of a game. So, for those of you out there that have pretty much been living under a rock for the last couple days, so if you bought Cyberpunk 2077 for one of the last gen consoles, basically the PS4 or the Xbox, the developers are apologetic that their game sucks on those systems. It runs so piss poor it's not even funny anymore, and they're offering refunds. Yeah, it's just bad. It's buggy. It looks rough. CD Projekt Red is now sorry about it, and they're offering refunds. I know that Sony's yanked it off of the PlayStation Store, so it's not even downloadable anymore. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't know if it's like for all of them or if it's just for like the old gen consoles, like the PS4 and that. I don't know. But in an official joint statement, the studio writes, first of all, we would like to start by apologizing to you for not showing the game on base last-gen consoles before it premiered, and in consequence not allowing you to make a more informed decision about your purchase. We should have paid more attention to making it play better on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Now, for those of you out there wondering why the fuck they didn't, it's very simple. Show off the game on the newer consoles, put it out on the older consoles, and you, the gullible consumer, will buy it for the older console thinking it's going to run like it does on the newer console. It's a classic bait and switch. It's actually illegal. In fact, it's extremely illegal. That's why it's called bait and switch. You're literally going and you're telling them, hey, it's going to look like this. And you put it into your game console, with it being the last gen game console, but they're telling you it's going to look like this. They're misleading you. All right, the exact term of bait and switch would basically be them giving you something else, in case somebody out there is going to look it up. It's basically, they're offering, like, let's say a grocery store offers you, let's say they have a sale on bread. And it's like their particular bread, it's like big 5-pound loaf of bread is going to be on sale for like $3. And you go in there thinking you're going to get this big 5-pound loaf of bread, and they don't have it. But they go, you can have this instead for the same price. It's a bait and switch. Or you can have this, but it's like, $1 more. It's a bait and switch. So in a way, that's sort of what they did here too. Because they used the newer gen consoles to pitch this game to all the consumers. Like, this is how good our game's going to be. This is how amazing it's going to look. And this is how it looks on the old consoles that we have it out for. Do you see the problem here? I mean, it's this very simple thing. And they even the fact that they're even admitting it, where they're going that they should have paid more attention to making it play better on PS4 and Xbox One, that tells you they didn't give a shit. Because in their mind, it's, we're just going to, make a shit ton of money off of the new gen consoles. Everybody's going to buy a PS5. Everybody's going to buy the new Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X. They're just going to buy those. And we're just going to make money off of that. Screw the other one. Just, cut and paste its ass right on there. No problems whatsoever. And in a way, they're misleading you into baiting and switching your ass. It's like, look, you're going to buy this. But then what they're basically telling you is that if you want it to run as good as you saw, you need to buy a new console. We can't up and give you all the greatness that this thing has simply by, look, here you go, and nothing more. That shit doesn't work. And that's pretty much what happened there. The studio, though, added that it will fix bugs and overall experience. The first updates have been released, and there are more coming, which is, I want to say, not a good thing to go with, because a lot of people bought this game for Christmas. That was your entire marketing gimmick, the fact that you were literally chucking this out the door for the holidays. You literally wanted this to be out there in time for the holidays. That's exactly what you wanted. And the fact that you now have this out there, it's out in the wild, and you have reviewers that are looking at this thing like, this is what they brought to the table, this is pathetic. This is Fallout 76 levels of bullshit, in a way. This is like Bethesda. Yeah, if it wouldn't be for the fact that we know for a fact, I'm sorry if I'm like seem like I'm stuttering, then I am kind of a little tired. If it's not for the fact that we know this isn't Bethesda, you would swear this is a Bethesda move. So they literally just took the page from the Bethesda playbook. We're just going to piss whip this thing right out. Let the consumers worry about it. That's their problem, not ours. So long as we get our money, we don't give a shit. And that's what it seems like. And that's sickening to me that they even came that far. It's disturbing. So after the holidays, though, there's going to be 2 major patches that are going to be coming in January and February, with details announced prior to release. Together, these should fix the most prominent problems gamers are facing on the last-gen consoles, apparently according to the statement. While CD Projekt Red admits that these patches won't make the PS4 and Xbox One versions look like the high-speed or the high-spec PC or Sony and Microsoft's new console versions, the studio promises that the update should help close the gap between old and next-gen. That's bullshit. You sold them on a bed of lies. You chucked out your fishing lure, you hook, line, and suckered their ass, and now you're basically saying that, oh, well, we got to give you 2 patches, major patches that are going to come in January and February. So it's going to take 2 months to close a gap. That's pretty much 5 times the size of the Grand Canyon. And you're going to close that in 2 months. I don't fucking think so. There's no way in hell that you're doing this. At least not in the grand scheme of things. They're going to look at this and they're going to go, no. The consumers aren't buying it. In fact, it's actually to the point where there's actually a way to get the refund. And you actually have to go through a few steps, apparently. So you don't have to stick with Cyberpunk 2077's really shitty version, because people are pissed. I don't blame them. So their open world escapade released last week. It's not good. It's got a mix of fanfare and criticism. But when you have the developers admitting that they fucked up, that right there should be the key phrase in this that says, we not only screwed up, but we know we screwed up. We know flat out we fucked up. And that's a problem. So there are reports, though, about refunds being offered to unhappy players, which the studio has now confirmed. Well, yeah, no shit. You kind of have to refund people. They're going to look at this, and they could easily take CD Projekt Red. They could confront them, take them to small claims court over this, in a way. Because they could go, look, we paid for this. This is not what they promised. This is not living up to what they said it was going to do. We feel cheated because they basically made a next-gen console game and pitched it for the previous console, saying that this is what it's going to look like on this console, where it's not going to work on this particular one, but on the next generation console is how it's going to run, just like you're seeing now. And that's a problem. And, you're screwed either way. The window, though, is the window for getting refunds apparently is small. Yeah, no shit. They're not going to give you a buttload of time, because in that way they can go, well, we offered it. And that's the one scam that a lot of these companies pull that pisses me off. Because they'll go, oh, we offered a refund. They didn't take the refund. We're not held responsible. They didn't want to take the refund. It's their fault. We gave them an out. They didn't take it. We offered a refund. We gave them excellent amount of time to do it. Word spread like wildfire on it. There's forums. There's posts. There's blogs. Social media spread this thing around. We put it out there. And that's their problem. That's something that bothers me. Because somebody may not have the ingenuity to think, yeah, let me go get a refund. Because they might be looking at that like, I bought this, for so-and-so, or, but I don't know if they want their refund. I'd like my money back, but it was more of a gift. So those are the people that aren't going to be able to get a refund, because if they get one, then whoever they gave it to is royally fucked. But with stuff like this, that always pisses me off. It's like, here's where the window is, and once you hit that certain threshold, that's it. And that pisses me off. So Apparently, CD Projekt Red has asked customers to use the refund system on the PlayStation Network or Xbox for digital purchases. However, those who bought retail copies will need to try to get one in store, which, let's face it, who in the hell, I mean, you're going to go to GameStop and go, hey, I want to return this copy of Cyberpunk 2077. It doesn't work. GameStop's going to look at you and go, no. And do you want to know why? Because GameStop was banking on the next-gen consoles to save their ass. They were banking on that. And with this being one of the main games that was supposedly coming out for the next-gen consoles, this is going to look at them like, we're not going to have that many sales now. We're royally screwed now. What are we going to do? And there you go. They're going to try their damnedest to convince you to keep the game. They're going to go, look, they're giving it a patch in a couple months. I mean, why don't you just wait a little bit and go that route? But I like how the studio goes, if that is not possible, because let's face it, GameStop, if you bought it at GameStop, they're not giving you a refund. GameStop's going to look at you and go, look, we're financially fucked ourselves here. We're not going to give you back money out of our pocket. You bought the damn thing. You knew what you were getting into when you bought it. You can kiss off. Which, first off, will be that's pretty much going to be the final piece of cement on top of GameStop's grave. Well, we basically buried this thing 12 feet deep, 6 feet of which is concrete. Solid concrete. But the studio is giving out an email address, which you can get in the article here, to hopefully assist. But the email will only be operational until December 21st. So that is not a good thing. It's really, really not. The statement, though, can be read in full. There is an entire Twitter thing up about it. So, yeah, it's not exactly a good thing. It ends with a notice that PC players will also be getting a patch update, which instantly, like I said, just makes me think of the whole issue with that one Batman game. I think it was Arkham City. I was trying to remember which one it was, and I think it was Arkham City. That the game just ran so piss shit poor. Was it Arkham Origins on the PC? It was one of the PC Batman games, and it was one of the Arkham ones. I just don't remember. Somebody out there in the comments tell me which one it is, because I know it was one of the Arkham ones, but I know it wasn't Arkham Asylum. I think it was either Arkham City or Arkham Origins. I don't remember which. But it ran so piss shit poor on PC that they actually had no choice but to issue a refund. So, yeah. But here's the message from the game developers, which, oh, this will be good. All right. It goes, Dear gamers, first of all, we would like to start by apologizing to you for not showing the game on a base last-gen consoles before it premiered, and in consequence, not allowing you to make an informed decision about your purchase. We should have paid more attention to making it play better on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, like I already said. Second, we will fix bugs and crashes and improve the overall experience. The first round of updates has just been released, and the next one is coming within the next 7 days. This was released on December 14th, so the next one will be coming out on the 21st, hopefully. Expect more, as we will update frequently whenever new improvements are ready. Basically, whenever they finally realize what they fucked up. After the holidays, we'll continue working. We'll release 2 large patches, starting with patch 1 in January. This will be followed by patch number 2 in February. Together, these should fix the most prominent problems gamers are facing on last-gen consoles. We will be informing you about the contents of each patch ahead of their release. So they don't even know what the problem is, but they're telling you that they're going to patch it, and it's going to take you 2 months to get the game to run where it should have ran in the first place. They would have actually pulled their head out of their ass. Good to know. Good to know. They won't make your game. They won't make the game on last gen look like it's running on a high-spec PC or next-gen consoles, but it will be closer to the experience than it is now. So basically, what they're saying is, it's not going to look like what we promised you it's going to look like, but it's going to be better than what you have. So basically, Figure it this way. It's like a YouTube video that's running at 144p and it's a high-def video. And instead of YouTube or your internet connection allowing you to go up to 720 or 1080p, it's going to take you up to maybe 480. It's going to go, look, it's not high def like it should be, but it's better than what you had. That's basically what they're saying here. But I love this. So, continuing on. Finally, we would always like everyone who buys our games to be satisfied with their purchase. We would appreciate it if you would give us a chance. But if you're not pleased with the game on your console and don't want to wait for updates, which who the fuck would want to wait 2 months to play a game that should have been able to be played from the start out of the box or downloaded, so that's full shit, basically. You can opt to refund your copy for copies purchased digitally. Please use the refund system of the PSN or PlayStation Network or Xbox respectively. For boxed versions, please first try to get a refund at the store where you bought the game, which the majority of people was probably GameStop. They're not going to freaking give you back a copy. They're not going to give you your money back. Should this not be possible, please contact us at Help Me Refund. Okay, wow. I really could. First off, before I go any further in this, let me say something to the Cyberpunk and the CD Projekt Red people. Greenish yellow background, light blue-ish looking lettering does not make for easy reading. Okay? 1. 2. If you're going to put something out like this with a big section where there's an important part, boldify that bitch. Simply scroll over it, highlight it, and hit bold. Bam! Then make it stick out, you assholes. So that proves that they don't want people getting money back from this. It's like, we're offering you the chance, but this right here proves that they're offering it to you, but they're not comfortable doing it. They're doing it to cover their ass. That's all it is. All right, so the email address is helpmerefund@cdprojectred.com, and we will do our best to help you. That's a good one. Starting from today, which was December 14th, you can contact us for a week up until December 21st, 2020. Well, yes, that would be 7 days, you morons, if you actually know mathematics. See here, humbly, and it has the list of people's names who I'm not even going to try to pronounce because at this point you've all dug your own graves, which is basically true. Your careers in the video game industry are now marred with this. So, yeah, it's not even worth it. P.S. PC gamers will also be getting regular updates and fixes improving the game. So, let's just take away from this. So, the PS4 version doesn't work. The Xbox One version doesn't work. The PC version apparently doesn't work because you're going to be giving them regular updates. You got to wait 2 months to close a gap that shouldn't have been there in the first place because you had your head so far up your ass with next gen. Why didn't you just release it for the next gen and not bother with the previous gen? Oh, because you wanted to tip your hands into both pots and try to get Sony more money up their ass. So Sony must have been backing this bitch, had to have been. And then you humbly put out a refund email address just on the off chance that they can't get their money back from going to the physical store, which, let's face it, they're not going to let you do. If it's GameStop, they're fucking not going to do it. They're not going to do it. But this is apparently how you can get a refund for some of these. So we know the one, which is just, horrible. Just either go back to the store or send them an email, and they'll do their best to help you. Look, at this point, I honestly think figure out how many people bought a copy of the game that aren't satisfied. And the people that created this game, the actual developers and designers that purposely screwed this up, so it wouldn't work on last-gen consoles, should go and say the following phrase. we'll just pay for it out of our pocket. That will teach you a lesson to never do this again. Trust me, your wallet will remind you of that every moment. So if you purchase the game digitally on Xbox One, you can request a refund directly through Microsoft's Xbox support page. Blah, 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 blah. It's a bit wonky, though, if a line item for Cyberpunk 2077 isn't showing up. And if you have your order number on hand, you have to manually fill out a refund request form. The link's going to prompt you to sign in, though, to your Microsoft account. However, Microsoft limits refunds after 14 days from the date of purchase, so that's not good. And apparently, PlayStation does, too. So you had 2 weeks to basically get your money back on a game that was busted to begin with. The developers knew it was busted. They knew it wasn't going to work on last-gen consoles, and so they put it out. I smell lawsuits a-coming. I can't even say that. I smell it a-coming. Yeah, it's just a freaking joke. And I know that, like I said, Sony yanked this thing off of the PlayStation Network store. I remember reading something about that. So still, it's not that bad. They've actually yanked it off. But for God's sake, this is insane, to say the least. You actually think this is going to work? That people are going to just go and say, hey, I really want my money back. Just give me my money back. Give it to me now. The digital versions, you're basically out the money. The physical versions, GameStop ain't giving you back your money. Ain't no way are they giving you back your money. They will find a way to screw you out of it because they're in dire need for money themselves. They probably already have it spent, and if they give it back to you, then there goes an employee's salary for the week. And they're just going to tell one employee to stay home. But no, this game launched pathetically poor. It's got piss poor reviews. It launched broken out of the gate. It doesn't work on last-gen consoles. Not only am I smelling the old, that Batman game that I can't remember exactly which one it was, but I'm also getting whiffs of Fallout 76 all over again. And that's not a good sign. Like I said, they literally, Project Red literally took a page out of Bethesda's handbook, out of their playbook, and they're just like, here, look, we're just going to put this game out. It's going to suck, but we'll let the community fix it. But the community ain't putting up with this no more. They put up with enough of it from Bethesda. They ain't putting up with any of it from you. So you screwed yourselves, basically. And you freaking know it. So, yeah. You're done. This game's crap. It's trash. It's garbage. If you want your money back, you better book your ass. You better book it because your window is closing fast to get your money back, which is not a good thing. It's really freaking not. All right, so this was actually an interesting little opinion piece that popped up for me earlier in the week. And I thought this was kind of cool for a few things. So, for starters, I did not realize that Adult Swim was 20 years old. Honest to God, I didn't know. I freaking didn't know. But an opinion piece that popped up on ToonamiFaithful.com, which, by the way, I do frequent the site from time to time. I just don't go there all the time because it is hard to load it up. I don't know why. It is cool, though. You get, like, interviews, editorials, news, there's a podcast. There's a Demon Slayer podcast, the Toonami Faithful podcast. You can sign up for emails, which I think I did. If not, I probably will then. An FAQ under their contact us. This actually is pretty cool. You get news, editorials, interviews, and stuff like that. But there was an opinion piece in here. It was a guest article basically saying what Adult Swim's going to be like after Family Guy. And I found this interesting. I really did. So, Adult Swim's going to look vastly different in the future than it is right now. In March 2019, the Walt Disney Company finally managed to back a dump truck load of money up to Rupert Murdoch's front door and bought 21st Century Fox, following a 2-year legal battle, which basically it was, look, we'll bring you this big of a dump truck. No, I don't want that big of a dump truck. All right, we'll bring you this big of a dump truck. we'll bring you this big of a dump truck with small bills in it. No. Big bills, big truck. That's how I always see it. Whenever you have one of these, it's like a legal battle between two companies. It's either that or it's a pissing contest. And in all honesty, granted, okay, it was both, but they just backed a dump truck load of money at the Rupert Murdoch's front door, and they're like, "Here, we want to buy Fox. It's yours." Leave the dump truck and the money. It's just a question of how many dump trucks and how big. It's a joke, but yeah, basically, I find humor in this. They wasted almost no time, though, moving Fox's shows to Disney's networks, most of which they just shoved over onto Disney Plus, like The Simpsons, and a few others. And I know a lot of people are like, The Simpsons need to end. And hell, just let it go, okay? It's been on for 30 years now. Let it go. It's flat out, just let it go. It'll eventually reach the point where it's had enough and it'll implode in on itself. Just let it go. Just, I mean, I'm tired of daytime talk shows. I mean, The Price is Right still going on. Jeopardy's still going on. You had how many other freaking shows that have been going on since like the 80s that are still going? Soap operas and stuff like that, they're still going. Eventually, it'll all implode upon itself. Just give it time. Let nature take its course. Don't be like Dogbird and intervene. Just because you're part of nature doesn't mean you have the right to interfere. So, yeah, I just want to get that out of there. Adult Swim already had lost King of the Hill and the Cleveland Show to Comedy Central the year prior, which I actually didn't know. I figured King of the Hill, when I was reading this, made a lot of sense since Mike Judge is putting Beavis and Butthead on Comedy Central, and he still owns the rights because he created King of the Hill. So that made sense then after I read this, but I honestly didn't know that Adult Swim had lost those rights. I didn't know that. The Cleveland Show, though, that was a blindside out of the dark, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure that was a Seth MacFarlane show, and Comedy Central got that, so they must have struck a deal with him. But then again, if I remember right, MacFarlane is not a huge fan of Disney. Don't quote me. I remember seeing that somewhere, but don't quote me on it. But yeah, King of the Hill made sense. Disney's going to move Family Guy and Bob's Burgers to FX networks, which does make a lot of sense because I think they'll do a lot better on there than they do on Fox to begin with. But that's pretty much going to end the fantastic run that Adult Swim has had. They're going to lose the rights to these shows in 2021. Bob's Burgers is going to remain, though, for a few more years, but Adult Swim is not going to be able to put out newer episodes. It's going to basically be the Futurama of Adult Swim, where the show's been canceled, this is what we have, but it's not actually canceled in a way. These are all the episodes that we're allowed to air anymore. So you figure it's either break the contract and don't show it anymore, or just keep playing the reruns and eventually people will get sick and tired of it. It's going to be a double-edged sword, both sides of which are dull as hell, so it's not really good. The eve of 2021, though, approaches, and Adult Swim needs to utilize the time that they have to bring fans quality content that they have grown accustomed to by these Fox series. Well, a lot of people were bitching that King of the Hill needs to go. I know that there were people out there complaining about Family Guy being on the network for so damn long. And honestly, I will agree with that. I mean, American Dad went over to TBS, so there was that. I know that... like I said, the Cleveland Show was a blindside in the dark. I actually didn't know that. But it's an open thing here. Let's see here. Where was it? Oh, yeah. So what used to be 5 Fox shows on the network per night is soon going to be whittled down to just American Dad, which is dependent on how long TBS intends to produce new seasons. And let's face it, TBS, I don't see them doing this for long. I mean, granted, okay, American Dad is kind of cheap to make, but the fact that you don't have all the voice actors together when they do it does open up a can of worms to expenses. Though granted, now with COVID, that does make it a lot easier, and you can actually, it's actually should be a better shot. You're still going to have to pay the money, and I don't know how much TBS is going to have, because keep in mind, TBS, TNT, Cartoon Network, they're all owned by the same parent company. At least they were. I don't know if they still are or not, but they were. I'm pretty sure they still are. They're all owned by Ted Turner, and Ted Turner fucking owns those three. So he's gonna still own it. The hell am I smoking? The hell am I smoking? They're still gonna have it. Of course, Adult Swim though it does have a plethora of original series that can hopefully pick up the slack. From the comfort, the reliability Fox series brought. I don't think they can. I mean, what original programming does Adult Swim have anymore? I mean, when they originally started, they basically hashed like old Hanna-Barbera shows that were considered a little too adult for kids, like Space Ghost Coast to Coast. There was Home Movies, which I swear to God, if they bring that thing back, fuck that show. Fuck that show and fuck that show. I get it. The show's interesting. The premise is kind of there. What I don't like about it is how the premise works. It's basically they're making movies in Brendan's basement, the backyard. They want to be movie producers. They want to make their own films. It's cute. It's entertaining. It bothers me that you have Coach McGurk, and he's the best fucking character in that show, and it bothers me how he is in that show. He's sort of like the loser. It's like, you go to him for fatherly advice, but you're not going to go to him specifically for advice. He's like the last rung on the ladder that you have no choice but to go to get off the ladder. It's like, oh, God. Who else can I add? Who else can I talk to? Oh, God, Coach McGurk. Ugh, why him? And that's where you're stuck. So that's not good. So in lieu of this, though, the momentous change. The article is laying out several suggestions for Adult Swim could adapt into the future. A couple of the opinions are not plausible given the landscape of Adult Swim. While many fans clamor about this, is for Adult Swim to expand Toonami, but it's not a good idea. Toonami's always seemed to do a better job when their lineup was stacked with more premieres. The expanding Toonami could cut into the budget of the block, getting those premieres. Thus, they might not have be able to get those. They had to place more reruns on the block, which won't resonate well with fans, stretching things thin. Toonami was better served to be more condensed to give fans more of what they want, because reruns of Dragon Ball Super at 9 p.m. doesn't sit well with apparently the people that wrote this article. Here's my thoughts again on Toonami, and I will say this 1,000 times till I'm blue in the face. Give it its own streaming service. Put ads in it. Basically, give Toonami what Tubi has. Look at Tubi and make Toonami that, where you have anime programming, you have like movies, stuff like that, but with ads thrown in. You will get people in. Have the old tie-in events come up. You can watch The Intruder. You can watch Lockdown. You can watch Trapped in Hyperspace, The Intruder 2. All of those. The Intruder 3. Countdown. The Forge. You can watch all those. They can come up with original content. Do a Kickstarter to get yourselves the seed money for that. Believe me when I say this. There are fans of Toonami out there, and even though a lot of us are in hard shape right now financial-wise, I guarantee you they would give you a couple bucks to bankroll this. They'll look at this and go, look, they're finally doing what they should have done in the first fucking place, and I'm going to bankroll them. I'll give them some money. I can't give you a lot, but I'll give you a couple bucks. Hell, I'd even chip in $5 for that. Just to know that I'm doing something that I could watch. Put it out on streaming services. Put it on apps for Android, iOS, on streaming services like Roku, Apple, Amazon. Do all that stuff like Amazon Fire Stick. Have it be a thing that you can put onto those. You can have it on your phone. You can have it on your tablets, your computer. Do that, and I guarantee you will get the funds. You will get fans. That is the easiest thing to do. Get Toonami the fuck off of Adult Swim to start off with, and you're in business. That's my thoughts on it. I will say that 1,000 times till I'm blue in the goddamn face. I'm not even joking anymore. So there is that. Alright, so no expanding Toonami, that's the first thing. The second thing, there's also the opinion of potentially acquiring more Fox shows. Yeah, apparently Fox decided to pull a rebellion in a way. A portion of Fox that remained independent after they were purchased by Disney, which, let's face it, I still swear to God, the only reason why Disney did this was to get their hands on the last couple Marvel properties that they wanted to complete their stranglehold on that monopoly. The only one they don't have is Spider-Man, and I swear to fucking Christ, if Sony sells to them, the Legion of fans will be pissed. Hell, when Sony told Disney to go shove it up their ass, we were happy. Then we found out it was all basically a ploy. And we all fell into a hook, line, and sucker. First, don't get me wrong, you did well to screw us, but don't ever fucking do it again. You got your one. Enjoy your small victory while it lasts. It's never going to happen again. So there was a group, though, of Fox that remained independent. The acquired animation studio Bento Box. So basically, the Fox Corporation acquired Bento Box to create new shows for the Fox network. Seemed like a clever move to have their own original animation domination programs that wouldn't be tethered to Disney. Yeah, like the animation high definition or animation domination HD that they would have on like a Saturday night. That was like Axe Cop and shit like that. That I would definitely go full on. Yeah, that's not family friendly. Hell, Axe Cop was made by a fucking 5-year-old. That terrifies me yet. That kid's got psychological problems, I swear. So yeah, that would work. The studio's also worked on Adult Swim originals before, like Perfect Hair Forever and Lazar Wolf. Perhaps they could pick up more post-acquisition Fox shows like Bless the Hearts and Duncanville, which I didn't even know Bless the Hearts was a freaking thing until I saw what lineup that Fox has. So that was really impressive. I didn't even know that. They initially planned to make this suggestion, though, part of the list of things they could look into, but apparently Kim Manning shut down this idea earlier in the year when she announced that Adult Swim wouldn't be picking up any future Fox shows. So apparently there was a tweet here, Animated Plus or at Animated Plus, from Kim Manning, VP of Programming on Adult Swim Summer Showdown. We're likely not going to get anything from Fox anymore. SIC. Looks like FXX is the new home for Fox cartoons. Which honestly makes sense. I still swear I think FX and FXX were actually Fox subsidiaries to begin with. So them getting the shows doesn't really upset me because I always considered FX was like Fox but less restrictive. Whereas like regular Fox network was a bit more restrictive. This one's like, look, we're under that umbrella, but we're not tethered to it like you are. And when they went FXX, that one I sort of figured was just like, look, this is the same thing, but we have this version of shows, we have this stuff, they only have this. They have what other networks ditched. We have a lot of the Fox stuff that we wanted to keep. I mean, I know FX had Malcolm in the Middle for a while and some other shows, but FXX had like, this is what FX does, but one step higher. That's what I always imagine those two as. So it's not a giant loss there. Talk about things that they could do to help integrate Adult Swim into a new post-Fox era. Let's face it, it's never going to happen. There's always the opinion, difficult as it sounds, to cut their hours. Adult Swim's main reason to expand well into prime time is that they had so many Fox shows to air, which I think was their issue to begin with. They wanted to show them off as much as possible due to how reliable they were for the traditional television ratings. So basically it was, we don't trust our own programming, let's just cater to what people want on our network. Brilliant. Stupid, but brilliant. The emphasis on those numbers has changed drastically, though. Some are said to have popular Fox series, bring in dedicated audiences again and again. They're now losing those shows, More Adult Swim stuff being 70 hours a week is a bit daunting. After all, some would argue Adult Swim was already stretching their luck when they expanded to 9 p.m. and then later 8 p.m. The 8 p.m. I think was definitely where you screwed your ass right in the hole. They had very little to show for it except more King of the Hill reruns, unless they plan to fill their early slots with new original programs, which would be harder to keep up with. Then a show that already has hundreds of episodes in the can, maybe there's no need to be on so early. So yeah, cut back the hours. They won't do that. It isn't something anyone wants to see. Maybe it could work, prudent Adult Swim to look more like the other companies, but you can read most of this in the article. I'm not going to delve into it entirely here because this is going to get too long. But yeah, so basically they need to figure out what they're going to do here in the post-Fox era. And truth be told here, they have no fucking chance. Once Fox's shows have been removed, I think they're going to have about as much chance of succeeding. They're not. Let's just face it. They're screwed. 5 ways from Friday. The basic thing is they rely too heavily on Fox's programming to cater their ass. It's basically they babied themselves. They were like, look, we suck at making our own original programming. People aren't exactly fond of it. It's more of a fitting thing later at night, but we want to expand. We need to get that primetime crowd right there. We need to sucker their asses in. They could just look into, and I really hate to say it this way, trying to acquire shows from like other networks, sort of like what Nick and Knight did. But here also falls into the main issue that I still have, and I want to stress this again. TV is dead. And they're basically like, oh, but we're not going to have any of these shows anymore, so people aren't going to watch. TV's dead. You're basically trying to pander to an audience that now doesn't exist. Or it's very minimal at best. You're basically trying to get water from a well that's run dry. And you're persistent that if I keep dropping the bucket down here, eventually it's going to fill up with water. Whereas eventually you're either going to die of thirst and dehydration, or you're just going to go crazy. And at this point, you're just going to go crazy. Adult Swim starting later in the night, yes, I'm sorry to say would probably be a better bet for them. However, then the other side of that coin is that gives Cartoon Network more time to pander their Teen Titans bullshit. And I mean Teen Titans Go. They're never giving us the original TT back. Or TT back. They're never doing it. TTG is sadly the way they're going to go from now on. Now, but this could also be a better version for Cartoon Network. They could look at this like, look, we could put on daily movies, we could put on like a kickback special like what Nickelodeon had did for like a few months. They were like, they did this like retro thing. Cartoon Network could try that. Put on like old shows that they still have the rights for. You know, that might be on Boomerang or something. And put them on at like 8 o'clock at night. From like 8 to 10, have that be, you know, Cartoon Network's blast from the past. That would help revitalize Cartoon Network and at the same time give Adult Swim some breathing room. Do I see that happening? Hell fucking no. I don't see that. I see Adult Swim screwing themselves silly, and then just after they've wiped themselves out and tired themselves out to exhaustion go, oh crap, we're screwed. Then they come up with an idea and they're just going to have to buckle down and deal with it. They rely too heavily on Fox's programming, and that was their main issue. They relied way too much on it. I remember they had Family Guy and Futurama on for the longest time after Fox canceled both those shows. And then when Fox brought Family Guy back, they still had Family Guy airing. King of the Hill went on to Adult Swim. The Cleveland Show went on to Adult. I know the Cleveland Show was also on TBS. I did not realize it went over to Adult Swim for a while, and then I remembered it did. But it was mostly, I just remember it being on TBS. But you just had all those shows that they just took. It's like, look, these things are easy, We can easily put these things out there. We don't have to put that much time and effort into it. We don't have to do anything. It's done. It's so freaking simple. We're good to go. And the problem is that's not how this works. You're looking at this like, here's our crap, suck it up and deal with it. And this is what we're bringing you. It shows that you could easily have just watched on the other network or stream it on Hulu, for God's sake. And they're trying to make a mint off of it, and it's not working. Now they're crying because they're losing what they shouldn't have had in the first fucking place. And that's pathetic. You know, you dug your own grave, live with it. You want to dig yourself out of it, figure out a solution. I'm not going to put a ladder down there and give you the way out. You want a way out, you got to solve it on your own. It's like All Might said to Deku, I can't call myself a teacher if I just give you the answers. And it's freaking true. You can't call yourself a teacher if you just give the student the answers. You need to make them think of what the answer is going to be. You just don't give them the answer. And that's pretty much it. So you can read the rest of the article for yourself, because this is getting kind of long, but still, it's not, I don't care. Adult Swim can screw themselves over for all I care. Rick and Morty Season 4, second half sucked. Season 5's coming out, and I don't have much faith in it at this point. And I know they're like up to season 7 or 8 that they're working on now. So that's really, the second half of Season 4 sucked, and that's what Adult Swim's going to be really hoping is going to take off. So they may not even last, because remember, Venture Brothers was canceled, and that still has fans pissed. You have the loss of so many other shows. God knows that they don't even have Aqua Teen Hunger Force airing much anymore in reruns and syndication, which is a problem. So at this point, it'd be a miracle if they survive 2021. More or less 2020. But so all this stuff's going to be happening in 2021. If they make it to March, that'll be a miracle. And if it does happen where they end up going down, Toonami can still exist. Just put them on late night on Cartoon Network. Call it done. Cartoon Network can, like I said, retro, the retro hour. And then put the rest of the time being, adult, being Toonami. Just have anime on from like this point to this point. And do that. Or better yet, just give Toonami its own damn streaming service like Tubi and be done with it. There's my thoughts. There's my opinions. There's my voice. But yeah, Adult Swim screwed themselves. Plain and simple. Alright, so this is, while we're on the subject of, Adult Swim and Toonami. So Toonami's decided that they're going to be doing themselves a Wonder Woman sort of movie thing. It's a special DC marathon. It's going to be airing, ironically, tonight, so you're not going to be able to see it. By the time you hear this, it's already going to be done. Hope you TiVo'd it. Hope you DVR'd it. But no. So Adult Swim's going to be doing a special Wonder Woman movie night in honor of Wonder Woman 1984 releasing in theaters and on HBO Max next week. Well, actually, it would be Friday, but still. The marathon's going to air December 19th from midnight to 3:30 in the morning, featuring the animated films Wonder Woman, Bloodlines, and Justice League New Frontier. Personally, I would have went with the second one. I would have went with Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. But, yeah, that's more of a Superman Teen Titans movie than it is Wonder Woman. So, yeah, go for it. Sorry, I just love that. I love the thing, and I'm not a huge fan of DC, and I actually did like that movie. I can never figure that out. So, yeah. The news comes, though, only a week after the previous announcement that an hour of the block would be dedicated to airing the final episodes of Gem Masudo Death Beats back-to-back on December 19th. At the time of this report, episodes 9 and 10 will rerun on Adult Swim on December 20th at 1 a.m. It's unclear if the remaining episodes will air during that time slot in the weeks to come, though. This isn't the first time a show premiered on the block and did not air in full, leaving any remaining episodes to air outside of Toonami. For example, IGPX Immortal Grand Prix premiered back in 2005, and it broadcasted only 20 of 26 episodes, while the remaining 6 episodes aired on Adult Swim. In all fairness, if I remember that one correctly, they were in a battle over the legal rights. That's why only 20 of the episodes aired. Don't quote me on it. I do remember reading something about that. I just don't remember where I read it. But I remember reading something about it was like a legal rights thing that they were trying, that I guess the license was going to run out or was running out. They were trying to get a temporary extension so they could finish airing the series, because they're like, look, it's only 6 episodes we have left. We can do that in one night. You know, can we just have like an extension for a month or something? And I think there was like an issue with that they weren't able to, or they were having a hard time getting it, so then the license ran out. Like I said, don't quote me on it. I'm not 100% sure on that, but still. But yeah, so there was that. I know that there was another one, people were claiming like Symbiotic Titan, which technically, Symbiotic Titan was more or less the show that Cartoon Network wanted to make happen, and it got a little out of their hands, and they're like, look, Toonami needs something to help keep itself afloat for now. Let's put our non-family friendly bullshit over there, and our family friendly stupid shit over here. And that's how we'll do that. Because if you notice, right about the same time that Symbiotic Titan and that went to Adult Swim's Toonami, they also got Thundercats 2011. And yeah, there you go. That pretty much explains that one, because we all know what happened after that Thundercats series. We got the one that had to get canceled. The one that deserved to never be made. Thundercats Roar. So there was that. But Wonder Woman Bloodlines is directed by Simon Liu. Features the voice talents of Rosario Dawson as Diana Prince, as well as Jeffrey Donovan. Ooh, Burn Notice. Ooh, okay, I know you. Yeah, okay, I can see that. As Steve Trevor. In the film, though, Diana frees Steve after he's taken prisoner on the island of Themyscira by Queen Hippolyta. And I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing names. Diana sees a vision of the island being invaded because of his arrival, so she goes with Steve to man's world, eventually becoming their protector as Wonder Woman. Years later, Diana finds herself on a mission to rescue a young woman from Villainy Incorporated, a deadly organization bent on invading Themyscira. Wow! That's funny. Justice League New Frontier, directed by Dave Bullock, and had its broadcast premiere on adults on Cartoon Network in 2008. So, yeah, it's scored by Kevin Manthei, I think it's pronounced. Invader Zim and Transformers Robots in the Sky, so Transformers RID. And it features a large cast with talent such as Neil Patrick Harris, Lucy Lawless, Lex Lang, and others. You figure you have NPH on here, holy shit, and LL. Whoo boy, Lucy Lawless, Jesus Christ. That's gonna get some people. At the end of the Korean War, an all-powerful entity decides that mankind must be punished and destroyed for their violent ways. When this entity unleashes a massive attack upon the United States, heroes like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and more must unite to defeat it and save mankind from destruction. Yeah, okay, now. So Toonami's doing that. It's movie night. And technically, Toonami usually does this in December, where they'll like take a break from their regular programming, because let's face it, December they usually have like the Skeleton Crew on anyway at Adult Swim, and for like the broadcasting thing, they just had the Skeleton Crew going. So this makes it a lot easier. It's just, hey, we just put up freaking movies. We don't have to do a lot of stuff. Here's 2 movies, done, problem solved. So yeah, that's what they're doing tonight. I'm guessing it's going to be good, but both those, if you want my opinion, either A, watch them, on DVD or on demand, or B, just take a night off from Toonami. December's usually the month where they kind of limp to the barn. It's like, look, the year's almost over. We don't have anything we really want to put up. We're waiting for the new licenses and agreements to come in for next year. Bear with us, please, for the month. If you don't feel like watching, that's fine. We're not going to be upset. I know the last couple years they've done like a tie-in event or a special event like The Intruder, The Forge, stuff like that. But yeah, it makes sense this time they can't do that. I don't think they had anything lined up. If they did and I'm just missing it, please somebody tell me, because I really do like watching those. I I like the original stuff that Toonami does. I think they should do more of that. They should actually get a budget to do more of that. Hint, hint, Cartoon Network. But, yeah. But, yeah, so that's pretty much what's happening now. The lineup for tonight is basically 12 a.m. It's going to be Dragon Ball Super. 12:30 SAO, Alicization, War of Underworld, which I stopped watching because, yeah, no, I was just done freaking watching that. Fire Force was at 1 a.m. Assassination Clash at 1:30. Gemasudo, Machu Picchu, Death Beats was going to be on at 2 and 2:30, and 3 a.m. was Demon Slayer. Although now we know that from midnight to 3:30, so basically all of the whole night basically is going to be these two movies, Wonder Woman, Bloodlines, and Justice League: The New Frontier. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm down for a good Wonder Woman movie. The animated ones are actually really good. Look, as much as Gal Gadot is good and all that, I saw clips of the Wonder Woman movie. I'm not sold on it. I'm really not. I'll take the animated version over the live-action one. Sorry. It's just who I am. I like the animated stuff just a little more than the live-action. It's just what I am. I guess you could just say, yeah, but that's what it is. Okay, so if you've been following the news, and I know this is like at least about a week old, but I was waiting to make sure that everything was 100% confirmed before I said anything, and I actually forgot last week, so shoot me later. Funimation has now acquired Crunchyroll. And, wow. So Sony merging Crunchyroll and Funimation for a whopping $1.175 billion. Holy crap. So there's been like a lot of mergers and changes in the anime landscape. The shoes finally dropped, though, for Sony to acquire Crunchyroll. And Sony has been wanting their ass for a while. If you think of it, if anybody out there's ever seen the Robot Chicken episode where they had Cat Court, where Garfield took on Heathcliff, and afterwards they're like, the next case was Chester Cheetah versus, I think it was the freaking cheese thing, and the cheese is like, he was hankering for a hunk of my ass. Yeah, that's what Sony was. Sony was a hankering for a hunk of Crunchyroll's ass. That's basically what it was. So as far as what this means for anime, it's up to speculation, since Funimation gave little detail in the recent merger. Undoubtedly, there's going to be many questions about what this means for fans and the industry as a whole moving forward. The good news, though, at least for Toonami fans, is that once the announcement was made, Jason DeMarco, you're I really don't want to say your Lord and Savior when it comes to Adult Swim and Toonami, but basically the one that if he puts it out, bad things are coming. I mean, like, every announcement he makes in regards to something that Toonami's doing, it's like, well, we had some blah, 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 this and that, and instantly bad things start to happen. Or, well, we're acquiring this, and then good things happen. Well, we want to try to get this, and then bad things happen again. So, it's never a good sign. But he quickly claimed, I'll try that again. He quickly came to Twitter to explain how the deals in place for the corporations, or the co-productions have been planned with Crunchyroll are not affected by this merger. So basically, all their little plans that are already set in stone, they're still set in stone. They're not they're not changing. So here he goes. I've known about this for a while, so I'm glad it can finally be out in the open. A whole lot of change coming to the anime industry. Hope my friends at Crunchy keep their jobs, and so do my friends at Funimation. Yeah, because you figure when it comes to merger, they're going to look at this for synergy, and they're going to go, oh, which companies? Well, okay, we have one person that does this and one person that does this. So which one of the two of you works cheaper, and which one works better for cheaper? And they basically are going to start pitting one another against each other. And it's really the sad truth about when companies merge, is that you're going to have employee A that does the same thing that for this company that employee B does for this company. So since they can't have two of them doing the same thing, because that's money that they're pissing out their ass for nothing, they're going to figure out which one's willing to work cheaper for, you know, give like the same quality but either cheaper or faster. And that's the sad part. Or can this group work with this group and have synergy, which is never a good sign. Mergers do not help the world. Synergy and all that other fun stuff. But of course, that was the link then to the Variety article with AT&T selling Crunchyroll to Sony, Sony's Funimation for $1.175 billion. Which, first off, I want to know where these companies are getting all this money to piss away for stupid shit, because I want a piece of this. I mean, look, there are freaking YouTubers out there making more money than I am. You have companies that are pissing out billions upon billions of dollars to buy one or two things. Where the hell is my money? I'd like to know this at some point. You know, I'm looking around and I'm like, look, I'll let greed kind of wash over me for a couple minutes here. Where the hell is my cut of the cheese? Oh, I get to watch this stuff? Oh, okay, I'll take that, I guess. I mean, what the hell? Sorry, I just want to go off on a little tirade there. I'm sorry. It's just a little annoying. I just want to go on a little tirade. Also, though, before anyone asks, according to the other part of the end of the tweet, this will not affect Blade Runner, Pirate Princess, or Shenmue. Those deals are clearly defined, and a great co-release strategy with us and Sony is totally doable. Yeah. Okay, whatever. See, in the latest news, though, will be viewed as a huge turning point as far as the anime's future is concerned. The two biggest competitors are now one. Oh, it'd be like if Facebook and Twitter merged. Yeah, I was joking with my mom the other night because we were watching a thing about Kmart. And it's like, well, Kmart filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection twice. And I was like, do you realize that you could have breaking news and all of a sudden it's something like, you know, Walmart files for Chapter 11 and just like that'd be breaking news. And it's like, I'm sort of getting the same vibe just reading this. It's like, oh, well, these two companies are now one. It's like, yeah, and if bad things happen, it'll be breaking news that the internet will go nuts for. It would be like if Walmart suddenly declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And then just like that, it's like, it'd be like breaking news. All of a sudden, you could have something in about, you know, like a high figure or like a really famous person just passed away. Oh, we have breaking news. Walmart has just filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Dear God, we're screwed. That would be sort of the vibe you would get from this. But you can also look to, though, how this might affect anime audiences, where you could potentially find more anime in one place, yada, 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 blah, 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 insert stuff here. It basically, Crunchyroll and Funimation were two opposites doing the same thing. Now they're together, so it's like, instead of having two streams sending water to the same pond, you just, you know, removed the dirt from in between them, and you made it one giant little, like, creek. Instead of having it be like two small streams, it's now one giant creek, basically, is what they're getting at. Instead of two, there's now one. So, either way, I find it interesting. I'm kind of curious where this will go, because I know Crunchyroll did their own original stuff, like with webtoons. You had, like, you had Tower of God, the God of High School, stuff like that. I still swear they got to do Hardcore Leveling Warrior. I would watch the shit out of that. But, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of interested to see where this would go, too, myself, how Funimation and Crunchyroll work together. I'm really interested in this as well. So this sounds interesting. This is going to be a definite game changer. I'm not going to lie. This is going to be good. It's just going to be one of those, which direction is this going to go? Is this going to flip, you know, when you flip the coin, is it going to come up heads or tails? For how good or bad this could possibly be. That's where the real question lies, but I'm kind of interested in where this flip of the coin is going to go. I really am. Alright, so this article I literally found on Facebook. I'm not even joking. Now, I will safely say the following. I would not know the name Meatloaf if it wasn't for my mom. Because my mom listened to Meatloaf. I got her a CD for her birthday the one year, which had two live versions of his one song, or I think it was like two songs that were the live versions of. And she gave me the old copy that she had, because it was the same album, just with 2 live versions on the one that I gave her, and the one she had was just, non-live one. So I ended up getting that one then, which was fine. I didn't mind it. I like Meatloaf's music. I remember getting picked on in school for it, because they're like, well, Andrew, who are you listening to? Because my classmates always wanted to find some reason to make fun of me. And in hindsight, I usually ended up giving them away, not realizing it. I ended up opening the door. But then again, they were stupid enough to knock on it in the first place. And, we're all at fault there. Moving on. I got ridiculed for liking Meatloaf. It's like, Meatloaf is a food, not a band. I'm like, good, it's not a band, it's a singer. And I remember when I started work, we were discussing, the one point trying to get to know everybody, we were discussing, who do you listen to music-wise? And I said, well, I like Meatloaf. And they're like, what the hell is Meatloaf? And I remember my one coworker actually knew what it was. She goes, I think my dad listened to that. And I'm like, okay. They put like a little bit on. The one person had his phone and he put a little bit on. And they're like, oh my God, this sounds like somebody strangling a cat and playing country music at the same time. I find that funny but insulting in a way. But yeah, so ironically, this topic is dealing with the cover, or the album cover for Bat Outta Hell, which was this was pretty much Meatloaf's huge thing. This was his landmark, album. And the artist behind the cover for this was a man by the name of Richard Corbin. He sadly passed away at the age of 80. His widow shared the news via the studio's Facebook page, noting that Corbin died last week on December 2nd. Said, and I quote here, it is with great sorrow and loss that I must share the sad news that Richard Corbin died December 2nd, 2020, following heart surgery. That's actually kind of horrible, because, I mean, this sucks. Bat Outta Hell, that was the album that I got my mom. That was the de facto album that I got her that had the 2 live versions. The one was, ironically, Bat Outta Hell live. If you ever get a chance, by the way, I highly recommend listening to some Meatloaf. It's actually not bad. He does do like some love ballads, but Bat Outta Hell is a classic. This is a classic. I mean, holy crap, this is freaking good. I know somebody out there is going to go, oh, well, I know what, I know Bat Outta Hell. That's fine. Cool. You know Bat Outta Hell. Great. Bat Outta Hell is a damn good song. I'm telling you that right now. So, yeah, this does kind of suck that he sadly passed away. And at the age of 80, no less. So continuing on here, we have down, he will be missed tremendously by his family and his friends and his fans. He was very appreciative of the love for his art that was shown by you, his fans. Your support over the decades meant a great deal to him. He tried to repay your support by working diligently on each piece of art going out to you. Although Richard has left us, his work will live on, and his memory will forever, will live always in our hearts. And it's down here, then you actually see the official Facebook post from Corbin Studios Incorporated, stating that basically everything I just said. So according to his bio on his website, he was a native of Sunflower, I'm guessing that's Kansas, K-A-N. Began drawing at a very early age. One of his earliest works was a series about his dog, because he was a comic book artist. After art college, he settled in Kansas City, working as an animator for an industrial film company. After almost 10 years, began drawing underground comics on the side. He was eventually hired by Warner Publishing and was soon able to make it his full-time job. By the mid-70s, his work was published in a French magazine called Mel Hurlant, which became known in North America as Heavy Metal. It was around this time that he was hired to illustrate the cover of Meatloaf's 1977 debut album. Yeah. Corbin was the perfect choice for this cover. Comics expert John Wyek told Q, his very stylized, airbrush, exaggerated style was ideal. His line work has always been more like a graphic artist than a cartoonist. The opposite to that flat, photographic style of your run-of-the-mill superhero comics. The artist also drew the artwork for the 1981 Bad for Good album composer John Steinman, released under his own name after Meatloaf's vocal problems prevented him from recording a follow-up. That same year, Heavy Metal put out a self-titled animated film based on the works of several of their artists, which, if in all honesty, if you've ever seen that movie, whoo boy, more power to you. Yeah. Corbin's Den character, which he premiered in 1973, received his own segment with John Candy providing his voice. Corbin also created the movie's poster. He remained an active artist in the comics world, working for both Marvel and DC on projects. A movie based on his fever dreams is currently in pre-production. There's another quote here. Certain words immediately come to mind in regards to Corbin's art. Steinman once said, heroic, majestic, multi-dimensional, tactical, cinematic, erotic, obsessive, but for me, most of all, his images seem not so much created as unleashed. They possess the muscular density to abandon of rock and roll, as well as the former stylization and exuberant turbulence of opera. In Corbin's world, the acoustic has been banished. Everything is gloriously amplified. I can't talk tonight. Amplified. Every frame seems to be born either directly before, during, or after an ecstatic movement of action. And the specific nature of the action is ultimately far less important than the explosive release it provides. The sexual richness of Richard Corbin's work is overwhelming. This is a world that is endlessly horny for the wonder and magic. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty freaking huge. It sucks that he's gone. I didn't even know who made the album cover of that. I honestly didn't. And I was like, whoa. When I saw this, I was like, what the hell? I was like, holy crap. I honestly didn't even know who made the cover album for that. 'Cause I always liked that. I thought that album cover was pretty badass. Now I know, and I was like, holy crap. I didn't even know that he died. But yeah, he sadly, he passed away. So like we always do here, though, if we could, let's have a moment of silence. But before we do that, like I said, if you really want to check out Bat Out of Hell or any Meatloaf songs, YouTube them. They're really good. I highly recommend it. But yeah, if we can, let's please have a moment of silence for Richard Corbin. Holy crap. If we may, please bow our heads in a moment of silence. Thank you for making a badass album cover. Really, thank you so much for that. You know, just when you thought this game was done, buried, and dead, it just keeps coming back for more. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's like the unwavering punishment from hell. We're now in the sixth layer of hell when it comes to Fallout 76. This was the game that, for starters, and I want to stress this point here, if I may. This was the game that, for starters, screwed you to the wall, effed you in the A, released busted beyond all recognition, using the same archaic engine as their previous versions, and once again just decided, hey, we're not done fucking you in the ass, we're just gonna screw you with microtransactions. Anybody else remember Angry Joe's $18 for blue? I'm sorry, every time I think Fallout 76, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. $18 for blue! I will never forget that. But Fallout 76 players are about to see their junk allowance dramatically increase next month, when a new update, which I'm amazed they haven't just given the fuck up on this one yet. Just come out with Fallout 5 and be done with it. They make more money on DLC, I think. Bethesda's trying to I think Bethesda at this point is trying to just reconstitute their money. But yeah. So anyway, come next month. New updates could be increasing stash sizes by 50%. Whoa! 50% increasing your stash! Jesus Christ! Wait, do they mean, like, your stash in game or Bethesda's weed that the employees had to have been smoking when they made this game? I just want to clarify what they're talking about here. So players of Bethesda's online post-apocalyptic sim, or basically as I like to call it, the post-apocalyptic, dear God, it actually works today game. I love that. I love all this stuff when it came out to Fallout 76, where the nuke codes are on Reddit. They don't get changed. They're on Reddit. $18 for blue! The AI that doesn't do anything, the characters that just literally glide across the ground and look like crap. Oh, God. I actually occasionally will still rewatch that Angry Joe review. Just for shits and giggles, just to get a laugh out of this. I will rewatch that just to laugh. I'm like, man, I'm having a horrible day. I'm gonna watch Angry Joe bitch about it, Fallout 76 again. That's just, I'm like, yeah! I know that they've had like some newer updates. They had the whole gold thing, the one vault, the Wastelanders DLC that came out. I did watch Oxhorn do that. Holy crap, though. I mean, Jesus. There's just so many things here. But players of Bethesda's greedy money pit from hell. That's a better name for it. It's going to spend most of their time scavenging the remnants of a bombed-out Appalachia for building supplies, crafting materials, and occasionally powerful legendary equipment. Yeah, you know, when the game decides to RNG just the right direction to give you one. And for those of you that don't know, RNG is a random number generator, because all games have them. Yes. As a result, anyone who's been playing for a length of time has at one point or another hit up against Fallout 76's stash limit, the hard cap on the total amount of extra stuff that can be stowed away for safekeeping. Yeah. I remember. How much did that screw weigh? 5 pounds? I love that. It's like the tiniest little stone, and you pick up like 3 of those, you're almost overburdened. It's like, yeah, okay, sure. The update, though, in January is going to be raising that limit by a lot. They're currently planning to increase the stash limit by 50% to a maximum of 1,200 pounds. Holy Christ on a cracker. So in other words, you're about to make it about as heavy as a cheap-ass sedan. You can literally have the exact weight of a cheap-ass sedan stored away. Good to know, Bethesda, good to know. So whether you stockpile weapons and armor, squirrel away lots of junk, or hoard perfectly preserved pies, because that's the fucking thing in this game. Yeah, I want to know this. So in Fallout 76, 76's game takes place in Appalachia, West Virginia, where apparently you can go into the one town and there's a pie. There's a machine that gives you pie. So first off, Hugh Neutron is in heaven right now. It has pie. He's fine. It has pie. The world will survive. I have pie. Basically. It is perfectly preserved. How in the hell is it preserved? Everything around this entire thing has been shot down. It's been 25 years. If I remember the lore for 76, that's when the vault opened and was going to close and nobody could survive inside anymore, because once the door closes, it ain't reopening. You need to go out into Appalachia and start on your own. Just don't ever watch the video on what happened to the one vault, the pacifist one, because that's actually a sad ending. Spoiler alert, they all died. Literally, it's really horrible. But yeah, so whether you're hoarding perfectly preserved pies, you'll have much, much, much more room to continue collecting your crap. This is a perennial request of Fallout 76 players, and the third time Bethesda's added more storage to the game. Let me put it to you this way. If you come out with a new DLC, you should instantly start adding more space to storage capacity as part of said DLC. Assholes. The reason why is because you're banking on them spending money. You're banking on them buying your DLC. So I would instantly think, we should throw in some extra space and charge an extra $2. They're going to get more space and buying the DLC at the same time. Or better yet, just add it in automatically because you're going to have new shit for said DLC. So a couple months after the game came out, at first you could only have a measly 400 pounds of extra stuff off-site inventory space at their disposal. A couple months after Bethesda realized our game's garbage, but we want people to keep playing it, they raised it to 600. A year later, bumped it up and raised it again to 800. The latest increase is due out sometime before the end of January. I'm assuming of next year. yeah, I like that they just go January. It doesn't really say next year. I think it said it up here somewhere, but yeah, no. By that, it doesn't really say whether or not. It says next month. It doesn't really say whether or not it'll be, because they could just say January. We never gave a year. It's going to be the biggest yet. Yeah, they're bumping it up 400 pounds apparently that you're going to be able to hold. Instead of 800, it's going to be 1,200. It's going to provide players with plenty more room for collecting as they continue grinding through 2020's sweeping Wastelanders expansion and the next round of Battle Pass rewards dropping when Season 3 starts tomorrow, when did this article come out? Monday. So the new thing's already out. So it means there's more new stuff. Yay! Oh God, no. There's more. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like watching like the lore videos that get put up. I like watching the one YouTuber that goes around and blows up some people's camps if they screw people over, test whether or not you can nuke certain like event areas. I kind of like those channels. I think they're pretty cool. But when it comes to Bethesda and their fucking DLC, I think at this point they should just screw themselves, to be honest with you. But Bethesda outlined a couple of quality of life improvements coming to the game next year as well. There's quality of life? Wait, are you going to make the game better? I mean, it's not the flaming pile of shit that it started out as. It's more like the smaller flaming pile of shit. People are still finding bugs in this, you bastards. Sure, no, we're going to make it just a little bit better. Just a wee bit more improved, I guess you could say. Just a little bit. Yeah, so there's going to be some new quality of life improvements coming next year, including a stack weight description to tell you the total weight of item bundles like ammunition, and a streamlined Pip-Boy with some new streamlined menus. A new tab will automatically show you everything you've collected since you logged on. Armor will get its own tab that will make swapping equipment in the middle of a battle easier. And food and drink will also get a dedicated tab to cut down on players injecting themselves with drugs when all they meant to do was eat some rad stag stew. For those of you that don't know, in Fallout, you can actually inject like Chemex, Jet, and shit like that. It's in-game narcotics that apparently increase your strength, intelligence, stuff like that. They're basically the poster children for that after-school special of why you shouldn't do drugs, kids. And that's Bethesda, giving you quality of life improvements. This time, no, we don't want you to accidentally overdose on Jet. No. What we want you to do is eat that rad stag stew you cooked yourself an hour ago. That's what we want you to do. No, we don't want you to do this. So we're going to have a dedicated menu for this. Really only took you how many fucking years? It took you that long, huh? In the meantime, a holiday scorched event doling out extra loot will get underway as the game starting December. Sorry about that. Starting on December 17th, so it's already out by now, but holy crap. They're finally upping the weight in this again, the 1200. More shit's coming out. We're just going to let you start hoarding more shit here in the world of Fallout. It's Fallout. Don't you want to just play some Fallout? I sure as hell don't. I'm sorry, I just get a kick out of this. Because every time I think of 76, I instantly think of, you guessed it, $18 for blue. I just get a kick out of that. Because I'm instantly reminded of that every single time, and I just laugh. I laugh my ass off at it. $18 for blue. $18 for blue! I just start laughing. I think it's so funny. It's in the hindsight of things, it's hilarious as hell. It really is. But, yeah, so that's going to make a lot of people happy. I think a lot of people would just be happy if Bethesda would just come out with the next fucking game already. Because, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think a lot of players are still having fun in 76. But I think it's more the professional players than the casual ones. I might be wrong, but it seems to be more like the YouTubers that do Fallout 76 related videos are having more fun than the casual players that have probably moved on to play other games. And basically gave 76 the middle finger as they walked away. So, yeah, it's pick your own battles. But let's not forget, I mean, Bethesda did have a slew of problems with this when it came out. Not to mention some of the premium pre-order bonuses that you got, like the helmet that apparently contains mold. The nylon bag that was basically no, the canvas bag that was a nylon bag that was no better than a garbage bag because Bethesda couldn't get themselves canvas, but yet they were able to get canvas then to cover their ass after people bitched. I loved that. That was the best part of this. Well, we're going to give you this canvas bag, and then people got the canvas bag, and it's a trash bag. And it's a trash bag that they don't want, and Bethesda's like, oh, well, it's better than nothing. No, you lying sacks of shit. This is bait and switch. You baited us into this with the freaking, oh, here, you're going to get this canvas bag if you pre-order. I pre-ordered for the canvas bag. This is not a canvas bag. This is basically you covering your ass. And I'm not buying. And just like that, it's like, okay, here are your canvas bags, you bastards, you crybabies. Bankrupt our company with to lay off 6 people. We only have 2 people left now, but sure, here's your fucking canvas bag. Then you had the helmet, and oh god, it's just one massive thing after another. Not to mention in-game glitches that are still going on every time they put out like an update or they change something. Like, oh, here's a player that can have all their shit taken by doing absolutely nothing. It's like that's what happens in Fallout all the damn time in Fallout because that's what happens. This is the game that just keeps making its own jokes. I swear to God, it is. All right, everybody, that's going to do it then this week for the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. And hey, I have an announcement to make, though. Yeah, I saved it for the end to make sure that you paid attention. Yeah, I didn't even say it earlier, so it'll be in the description. Anyway, due to my work schedule this week and the fact that I will not have a chance to do it beforehand, I am extending the deadline for the December Q&A video. That's right. I am accepting all questions up until December 24th at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So basically, when I have to start work on Christmas Eve is the deadline for you to pretty much submit your questions for December's Q&A video. So that gives you an extra 3 days to come up with some questions, ask me, and then I will make sure I record it on Christmas Eve, and it will go up on Christmas Day. That's my game plan. That's what I'm hoping to do, so hopefully it all works out. I don't know if it will or not, but I'm hoping it will nonetheless. Anyway, yep. So don't forget to submit your questions for this month's Q&A. You now have until December 24th at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to submit your questions. Feel free to jot them down, drive them home, and bring them in, basically. And until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes. This has been the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. Have a very happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Boxing Day. And I will catch you all next week after the holidays are said and done in the books and in the Stone Age. I will be back then with another exciting episode of the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast, the final one for 2020. That's right, folks. One more week to go. One more podcast of the year. And then we're into the new year, the new year. And hopefully, all right, let's face it, the next year's going to be just as bad as this one at this point. But still, one more week to go, podcast-wise. One more Saturday in the month to go. I will catch you all next week right here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and above all else, have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and enjoy yourselves. This is Andrew Rhodes signing off. Bye-bye, everybody.